Torah tells us in Parshas Behar about the mitzvah of Shemitah, about the obligation of the farmer to let the land leave fallow, to rest in the 7th year, one that we just experienced, that the farmers experienced in Eretz Yisrael over this past Shemitah. But in the course of that discussion, the Torah has a very strange formulation of something which is logical that the farmer may say. The Torah tells us, V'chi somru, and if you, the farmer, will say, Ma nochal b'shana hashviyis? What are we going to eat in the 7th year? Hein lo nizra, v'lo naso b'stvosenu. We didn't plant. We didn't harvest. We didn't work the land because that's what you commanded us to do, but now we're going to suffer. What are we possibly going to eat? So Kadosh Baruch Hu responds and he says, No, don't worry. V'tzivisi es birchasi lochem b'shana hashishis. In the 6th year, I will command my bracha to come upon the land. V'yasas es hatfuah l'shlosh hashanim. And there will be sufficient produce that it grows for 3 years. For the 6th, for the 7th, and even for the 8th, because the land has not been worked. In the 7th year, there's nothing to harvest. In the 8th year, tremendous, tremendous miracle for those who observe the mitzvah of Shemitah. But if you take a step back for a moment and think about it, it seems to be that the Torah is expressing a little bit of a lack of emunah on behalf of the farmer. That the farmer is questioning. You told me to do this, but now what's going to happen to me? Seems to be there's a bit of a lack of emunah. And while that's certainly understandable, farmer is being challenged. What's strange is that the pasuk in Tehillim Chazal apply to this pasuk about those who are Shomer Shemitah is Baruchu Hashem Alchav Gibori Koach Osei Dvaro Lishmo B'Kol Dvaro. The people who observe Shemitah are called Gibori Koach. They're mighty. They're listening to the words of Hashem. How can it be that at the very same time we're referring to them as these great Giborim, and yet they seem to be questioning the faith that's necessary in God's mitzvah that He commanded them? I saw a fascinating approach that makes a very, very fundamental point and focuses on a single word. This very same question that the Torah relates can be interpreted in 2 very different ways based on one word. If they said, V'chi somru, if they will say, Ha'im nochal, will we eat in the 7th year? That would be a lack of emunah. That would be questioning, how is it going to happen that we are even going to have what to eat? That would be a lack of emunah. That is not these Giborei Koach. They said, Manochal. They said, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, we have full emunah, but explain. We want to see the nace. We want to see what you are going to do, the greatness of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. How is it that you're going to do this? And that's what they're expressing. It's a desire to understand the ways of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's Manochal. What are we going to eat? Bashana Shvis, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu to that says, V'tzivisi es birchasi. I will command my bracha to come upon you for those 3 years. And that's why they are Giborei Koach. Their emunah is strong. It's so strong that they turn to HaKadosh Baruch Hu and say, we have full faith. But we want to see it. Tell us. What's it going to be? We're so excited to see the miracle that you are going to bring forth. And I think it addresses a fundamental point, which is that there are times that we have questions. And it is the way in which we express those questions that reflects where the question is coming from and can be the difference between an appropriate and an inappropriate question. When we question the ways of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, because we don't understand and we're questioning, how can you do something? So that could be a lack of emunah. But at the same time, to turn to HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, we want to understand. We understand this is the way that it has to be. But help clue us in a little bit so that we can have a better appreciation. Not that we're questioning the why, but we're questioning HaKadosh Baruch Hu, please, just explain it to us so that we can relate to you in a different way, in a way that completes, and it's mashlim our emunah. It's a very different type of question. When we ask a question and we don't want the answer because we know that we know better, that's an inappropriate question. When we ask a question and we're looking to try and understand, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you told us this thing, we're going to do it because you are the Ribono Shel Olam. But can you clue us in? Can you help us out? It's a very different type of question. It's in fact a question that doesn't undermine our emunah, but but it strengthens it. It shows how the faith that we have in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. There's nothing wrong with sometimes asking questions, but it's the way in which we ask them that makes all of the difference. And that's perhaps what the Torah is hinting to here. By the Torah going into this formulation which is atypical, the Torah is telling us that there are ways. It's not wrong, it's not inappropriate to ask questions, but the way that you ask the question, looking for the answer, looking to get closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that is going to be what determines how it is that we relate to it, how HaKadosh Baruch Hu relates to us, and the depth of our emunah that we hope will be increased and that we look forward to as we look towards the Gibor Koach, the people who are Shomrei Shemitah, the people who understand that we need to follow the ways of HaKadosh Baruch Hu in everything that we do, and that will hopefully have its impact on us as well.